Some breaking news right now. CHP is after this car that we're seeing with the spotlight there.
And Desmond Shaw is live overhead in SkyCal. Okay, Des, where are we? We're on the freeway.
Yeah, we are on the northbound 5 right now, Pat and Rutabaga. Yeah, we are on the northbound 5 right now, Pat and Rutabaga. This actually began with wrong-way driving on the toll roads in Orange County. We had heard that it began on the 241 and the 261 interchange, and so CHP saw that. And now we're northbound 5 coming up towards the East LA interchange, which is bad news right now because of the Dodger TFR. There's actually another pursuit going on in the Dodger TFR.
Well, Des, I think that one, sorry, I want to jump in because I think you're going to pass that other pursuit right now, Desmond. I think that second pursuit is coming at you on the southbound 5.
I don't think we've ever had two separate pursuits going right by each other at the same time, at least not since I've been in SkyCal. But so we had heard that there was a spike strip attempt in this one, but it doesn't seem like it was successful just based on how quick this vehicle is still driving. Not seeing any issue as far as their tires go, but so again, wrong way driving is what started all of this. They wanted to try another spike attempt here on the 5, but then CHP, the sergeant said no, because it's just too congested right now on the 5 to make that attempt. So we're actually going to have to kind of make a decision here if we want to stick with this pursuit or go to the other one that's coming out of the Dodger TFR. Very bizarre situation. Two pursuits going on at the same time. Very close to each other. This one out of Orange County with wrong-way driving a Lincoln MKZ. Pat Rutabaga and Mike.
Well, Mike, thank you so much, Des.
Yeah.
Hang on. Where is the other
Well,
pursuit?
so it actually, while Desmond was talking, it passed us. So you could see the LAPD on the other side of the freeway and their helicopter go through Desmond's shot, and it passed us. Des, I want to ask you really quickly, how much longer do we have before we hit that TFR? I may flip you around and have you go to the other one if we're going to lose this one.
Yeah, not very far. Actually, we're coming down right about the East LA interchange is about as far as we can go. So we'll see which way they transition here. If they transition to the east or the south,
yeah.
Well, actually, if they're coming into East LA, they'll only be able to go west, I should say, or north. If they go west on the Santa Monica freeway, then we'd be able to follow that. But North 5 or North 101 is going to be an issue. So I guess we can just kind of give this a minute and see if it's going to end in the next few minutes or which way they're going. They're in the far right-hand lane, which would take us to the Santa Monica freeway. And all of a sudden, we are slowing down quite a bit. Well, we've heard about this from the suspect as well, where they get down to 40, 50 miles an hour, and then they're right back on the gas at about 90. So it's not to say that this vehicle is necessarily coming to a stop, but here we come right into the heart of the East LA interchange. And barring a last-second change, it looks like we are going to be going west 10. So we could continue with this one, but it's, yeah, kind of a pickup situation with these pursuits. Pretty crazy. Two at the same time, very, very close here as we transition onto the westbound 10 Santa Monica freeway with this one out of Orange County.
You know, Desmond, the one going on the southbound 5, is that a CHP pursuit or LAPD pursuit? This one we're looking at now, northbound, that's CHP. Pursuit. Okay.
Yep. That's correct. Yeah, now it's transitioning to the westbound side of the 10, which we'll have to just kind of get away from it a little bit as we catch up. The other one was a stolen vehicle pursuit. That was LAPD that was in that one. And we just heard my pilot Dylan let me know that they went southbound on the 710 with that one. So, yeah, so we can see the flashing lights as we get through the big stack here of the Eastdale interchange. I guess it's kind of up to you guys. We can stick with this one, but then, you know, if they go northbound 110, it's going to be kind of the same issue with the Dodger TFR, but we've got it right now, westbound 10. We can see what their next move is going to be.
And Mike, this is why we have you at the desk to let viewers in on the process when it comes to these decisions that you have to make editorially.
Absolutely, and you can see just a second ago we saw some more cars. I think we're going to re-rack the video here for you where you can see it. I know our technical operations folks are getting it, but yeah, I mean, this is the move. And before we even came to air with this, we were trying to figure out which one we were going to go to, because at first we were closer to the LAPD one, but then it went into the Dodgers TFR, so we let that one go. We came to this one, and then while we were at this one, that driver went south 5 and crossed over us as we were doing on the right side of your screen here in just a second. There it is, watch. You're gonna see the cop cars on the left side right underneath where that box is, and you're right there. So you see the LAPD patrol cars going past us. It's quick, but that's where it was, and then they went right past them. They have their own helicopter. They're just ships passing in the night on chases here in LA.
It's just surprising, too. You've got CHP on one side, LAPD on the other. Can we just confirm now, the stolen car pursuit, that was the one out of Orange County?
That was
the Bell Gardens.
LAPD 77th Division.
Okay.
Yeah, so the one out of Orange County is this one, and that is the driving wrong way on the toll roads.
And the other one was, or is?
Stolen.
Stolen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's the one that's still going on. That one went down on the 710, it looks like. But actually, they may have let that one go because now that police helicopter is leaving. See, it's always a gamble when you pick a chase here at the desk of which one is going to be going for longer, and we got lucky with this one.
So you're saying the stolen vehicle, that they'll probably just let that
Yeah,
go.
that one looks like it has come to an end. The police helicopter that was over it is no longer over it, and they're turning back to the north, no longer looking like they're following it. So this is the one that is still going. This is a sheriff's helicopter that is overhead with CHP.
It must be kind of confusing for them too on the with the radio traffic, all communicating with each other in the exact same area at one point.
And in all honesty, too, probably the reason that LAPD let theirs go, if that's the case, which we believe it is, they were getting outside of their city, and that's usually when they would ask CHP to take over. But CHP's doing this, so like the CHP is not going to do two chases at once in the same area. So that's likely what happened. Is CHP was already committed to this one. And now the LAPD kind of sounds like they probably ultimately let theirs go. Des, continuing West 10?
Yeah, I thought we were going here on the westbound 10 still. I'd let. Now all of a sudden, got this guy down here. Like maybe they just got off of the freeway here. Yeah, you know, we were right on the edge of that Dodger TFR, and we had a little bit farther to the left.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. So here we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so we are still continuing there on the 10. Just gets a little confusing with those flyover ramps. So yeah, this is better news for us too, being clear of the Dodger TFR. So westbound 10 now flying by USC and University Park, and it's definitely going to be some lighter traffic conditions as we head towards West LA at this hour. Very lightly traveled freeway, pretty wide open, and look at these speeds, over 100 miles an hour. So those tires seem to be pretty well intact to me. This vehicle, MKZ, decently capable vehicle, much more luxurious than it is sporty, but definitely has some power, these cars. I believe that's a V8 in there as we widen out, and you can see the spotlights there. They're from helicopters not having any trouble keeping up with this one, and CHP still in a pretty close pursuit. And I think this is the first pursuit I've ever heard that was initiated because of wrong way driving. We've definitely seen pursuits where wrong way driving is happening, but this actually being initiated because of, and then not sure if CHP saw that or if someone called that in and they were able to locate the vehicle or what, but pretty alarming. So then, you know, you're wondering what's going on with this person. Why were they doing that? Are they under the influence of something or what have you? And, you know, we've covered a lot of ground since that was down in, you know, over by Lake Irvine where that happened off the 241 and the 261. So we've already come quite a long ways. I did hear some murmurs again about a spike strip, but I wasn't sure if I heard that if they're going to attempt that or not, but they're at least talking about that.
Well, they certainly have to be far out, wouldn't you think, Desmond, to you know, get an area to put themselves in position to lay a spike strip. And at the speeds that this car is traveling right now, that just really seems unworkable right now. Even if with more traffic, that would certainly be a very dangerous proposition.
Yeah, I would concur. I mean, we did see it on the freeway last night on the 14, but that was a way less traveled corridor. The southbound 14, you know, through Acton at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night is much more sparsely traveled than the westbound 10 through Mid-City LA, really at any given hour. So that is definitely a consideration. And with these speeds, it would be, you know, very, very difficult. Spike strips are much more useful when you have, you know, suspects just kind of gallivanting around at slower speeds, or certainly on surface streets. You don't see it too often on the freeway, but it did happen last night, and it is something that is always a possibility, but not likely to see that right now on the Santa Monica Freeway.
You know, we always have to ask, even more so now, I think, because we see how these things tend to end sometimes. Have we confirmed that it's just one person in that car? Because, you know, I keep playing over in my mind the inevitability when this vehicle, when they do pull over, or if they stop, and then you see several people jumping out of the car and dispersing, which, you know, causes a problem for law enforcement, especially if they're not on their heels. They're able to get away.
Yeah, I haven't heard any chatter about how many people are in the vehicle on this one. So, yeah, still, I think we're still working with the knowledge of there just being the one person inside. I mean, they've been driving so quickly as well. It's been kind of hard for anyone to get a pretty good visual inside of the windshield at this point. I mean, we have, just been going 100 to 110 on the Santa Monica Freeway, something that's usually physically impossible on this roadway at most hours of the day. But I mean, you could still see quite a few people out here right now. Definitely dangerous situation. Kind of slowing down a little bit here, kind of going between 80 and like 110. So we're really all over the place. And then back at the East LA interchange down to about 40 miles an hour as well. So, but yeah, kind of booking it again, almost up to 90. But and then, you know, we've covered a lot of ground as well. This is definitely not a fuel-sipping vehicle, so there's also the possibility of, you know, maybe running out of gas or something, especially going between these, you know, low speeds and high speeds like this, the way the suspect is, and using their turn signal, bizarrely enough, as we're in the fast lane here. So we are hurtling towards West LA now. We'll be at the 405 shortly and see what the suspect does there, or if they're going to continue towards Pacific Coast Highway. But we've been on the freeway, I think, the entire time that we've heard this pursuit. They seem to be pretty content sticking with freeways and no attempt to get off of the freeway onto any surface streets.
Yeah, taking a straight shot towards the west side there. Chases the past couple of weeks, we've seen them get off the freeway, in some cases go the opposite way, opposite direction on the freeway, go onto surface streets. But this is a situation where law enforcement definitely has eyes on this driver.
Well, he's opening himself.
Yes, they absolutely do. No, they have plenty of eyes on this, both, you know, from the ground and from the air. We heard them actually switching out units and getting some fresh units once they got into the LA County area. So I think the original ones that were on this from Orange County may have dropped off, and these are, you know, fresh units with probably a fresh tank of gas. And I think this is still the same helicopter, though. But, you know, if things continue, they'll switch out the helicopter as well.
Well, they've got a number of, well, you know, in terms of making decisions here, Desmond, right? Because you mentioned the 405 coming up. They could possibly, you know, make a detour, get on the 405, and that could lead to even other possibilities, even though I suspect that the 405 is pretty busy at this time of night. It usually is busy no matter what time of the day it is. But this 10 freeway.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
No, yeah. I mean, we would just be going from one, you know, heavily traveled freeway to another, and it looks like that is what we're going to do here. I think we're going to be transitioning to the northbound 405. Yeah, now fortunately, I don't think we have that Caltrans work taking place that we've been trying to keep everybody apprised of. I believe that's going to be next weekend, and, you know, where the freeway is going to be constricted again, and then that causes a late night jam up. So at least our Caltrans crews will be out of danger right now. But yeah, now we're headed to the San Fernando Valley. So how far are we going? I mean, we've gotten a pretty healthy tour of two counties now, from kind of dead center Orange County now into the center of LA County, the most congested freeway in the country, up to 80 miles an hour right here. And CHP, they are sticking with this one. It's a Sheriff's 2-4 that is overhead right now. So kind of the tandem there with CHP and LA County Sheriff's deputies, helicopters on this one. So yeah, now we're coming to northbound 405 and headed up towards the San Fernando Valley and Van Nuys Airport. What's the suspect thinking at this time? Are they just, you know, so many times running out the clock, kind of like they were last night with that pursuit, where it just kind of went until the vehicle wouldn't go anymore, until the car was almost ready to catch fire, and then just decided to give up? And just so many of these suspects just seem content to just run aimlessly with no plan, to just milk it as long as they can and be as aggravating as possible to police. And kind of getting the feeling that that's what we're dealing with this one here, northbound 405.
Yeah, we just saw a couple close calls there when the driver was changing lanes with other cars. And you have to wonder about how erratic they're going to be, given that they were driving the wrong way on the freeway, which is pretty scary to think about.
Yeah, I am now a new factor here. This is the first time that we are exiting the freeway here at Wilshire. So this is going to take us to westbound Wilshire Boulevard. And, you know, very wide boulevard without a lot of parking. I mean, there are a lot of cars out here, but if CHP times this right, this could be a great opportunity for a pit maneuver here. I mean, you know, Wilshire's like 4 lanes, and there's no parking on the side. So what's going on? Why did they suddenly exit? You know, are they running out of gas, or is there a plan? Just cutting all the way across here against this red light, and through the intersection, continuing westbound Wilshire now underneath the 405, so over by the VA. And are we just going to go south? No, I thought maybe we would just double back to the south 405, but so into West LA. Going down to the VA hospital. This is like, it's almost like a freeway entrance here, down to the the VA center with the hospital and the rest home. And yeah, we're going into the VA facility. So this is weird. There's no through streets here. I mean, this suspect's going to run out of real estate here pretty quickly. I mean, these all dead end into gated parking lots. This is, where a lot of veterans come to live out their days, and I can't imagine what would have brought them here. Very, very bizarre, but probably going to get himself into a dead-end situation here pretty quickly.
Yeah, it almost looked like they didn't quite know what they were going to do when the stop was on the pavement there. I almost thought that they were going to try to stop for, make a decision as to where to go next. But as you say, Desmond, it doesn't look necessarily like they know where they are. Now, is that,
well,
also residential?
So here's the thing. We were listening to some information about the registered owner of the car, and it sounds like we're trying to lock it in and confirm it a little bit more, but it does sound like the registered owner of a car may be either a business or some sort of group that potentially works with veterans. So this may be a situation where the VA is exactly where they wanted to go. It's unclear why they're doing it in this fashion. But it does kind of make sense a little bit if you look at the path that we took. I mean, direct from Orange County, 5, West 10, 405, off right here. So we're going to work on seeing if what exactly the registered owner status is of this and what that group does or who it is. But we did hear that it does have some connection to veterans and the like. So, we're up on we're still in the parking lot here, but.
Oh, the pedestrians there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, and right into the dirt. And I mean, fortunately, he didn't try to go into this greenhouse or whatever this structure is right here, but into the dirt and stopped immediately. There's a couple other people that are out there just wondering what is going on. Here you see these people. They're like, all right, the police are telling them to back off, get out of the situation. And now we've just got the hands up, and I guess this is going to be the end of it. So very bizarre. If they were just out on a joyride or something and bringing it back at least out of courtesy for the others. I don't know, what a weird thing. You're saying, owned by an entity that works by the VA. So, but they're out all of a sudden. So I guess that was nice of them to bring the car back at the very least and didn't run into anybody. And just like that, we've got a suspect after flying westbound on the 10 on the Santa Monica freeway. They are out. They are complying. They're walking backwards. They've got their hands up, and we've got a tree in the way as always.
Well, but when you think about this person driving on the wrong way of the freeway, you wonder what exactly is going on. This is certainly one that we like to do follow-ups on most of them. People wonder what happened, what was wrong with that driver, or why did they do that in the first place? And if this is the case that this person is affiliated with a group, why, do the moves? Why take a car and drive the wrong way on the freeway, possibly endangering himself and other motorists, actually?
Yeah, and we want to be clear, too. When we heard that information, it's not necessarily that the car is registered to the VA itself. So it's not, I don't know that it's a situation where it was taken from here and brought back to here. We heard that it was registered to a group affiliated with veterans, not necessarily the VA itself. But, the VA, this hospital is the main campus here in the region for vets. And VAPD is also responding to this now as well.
You said VAPD?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to wonder, maybe this, just speculating, could be what he considered to be a safe place or somewhere where that he, felt safer surrendering. But he is in custody now.
Well, Desmond, almost want to ask you, what about that other pursuit? But we're far enough away.
It sounds like that one may have come to an end. That's what my pilot, Dylan, was hearing there as they come in here just to clear the vehicle, make sure there's nothing weird going on with anything in the trunk. And it looks like that is a code 4, all clear. So it sounds like the end of 2 pursuits that passed each other. First time we've had that happen that I can remember anyway, 2 completely separate pursuits. But we stuck with this one to the end and ended in the VA campus in West LA with 1 person in custody, Pat.
Okay, and no injuries, no accidents, so that's the good news to report there. Thanks so much, Desmond.